Good evening, everyone. Time, how we use it determines the quality of our lives. Time doesn't wait for anyone, and once it's gone, it can never be reclaimed. Every minute that passes is a minute lost, so learning how to spend your time wisely is essential for a fulfilling and meaningful life. We often get caught in the rush of our daily routines, chasing external validations, accumulating things, or worrying about future uncertainties. But true wisdom lies in knowing how to truly live in the present moment. If you can master the art of time, you will master the art of life itself. The key to spending your time wisely is not about being constantly busy, but about being truly engaged and conscious in whatever you do. Whether you are working, resting, or spending time with loved ones, your presence in that moment is what matters most. So, let's explore how you can reclaim your time and make it work for you instead of working for time. Time is the one resource that is always running out. Unlike money, you can't earn more of it. Unlike physical energy, you can't store it for later. Time, once passed, is gone forever. And yet, many of us live as though we have an endless supply of it. We spend it carelessly, frittering it away on distractions, procrastination, or activities that don't truly serve our higher purpose. The reality is that each of us has been given a limited amount of time on this planet, and what we do with it shapes not only our present, but the future of our lives. To understand the significance of time, one must first come to grips with its fleeting nature. Every second that ticks by cannot be returned, no matter how much we wish for it. Every opportunity missed, every hour spent without true engagement, is an hour that will never come back to us. The clock continues ticking relentlessly, and yet we often fail to grasp the weight of this truth. There is an art to spending time wisely, and it begins with a shift in perspective. Most of us are constantly preoccupied with either the past or the future. We are haunted by past mistakes, regrets, or we are consumed by the anxieties of what lies ahead. We forget that the only moment we truly have is this one, this breath, this heartbeat. If you can make peace with this truth and focus your attention fully on the present moment, you will unlock a deeper connection to your life and to the time you have. True wisdom lies in knowing that time spent in awareness in the present moment is never wasted. Even the simplest of tasks, when done with full presence and attention, can become meaningful. Whether it's a moment of quiet reflection, a conversation with a loved one, or the act of working towards a goal, every moment is an opportunity to deepen your connection to yourself and the world around you. You don't need to fill every minute with activity or productivity to make it count. Sometimes it's the quiet moments of stillness that are the most profound. When we talk about spending time wisely, it's not about adhering to a rigid schedule or being busy all the time. It's about making intentional choices about how to spend your energy and attention. It's about deciding what truly matters to you and committing to it wholeheartedly. Too often we get caught up in the busyness of life and lose sight of our deeper values, chasing after things that will not bring us lasting fulfillment. We need to step back and ask ourselves, what am I truly investing my time in? Is it helping me grow as a person? Is it leading me towards the kind of life I want to live? One of the greatest challenges we face today is the multitude of distractions that constantly demand our attention. From social media to work emails to the endless stream of notifications, we are constantly being pulled away from the present moment. But if we wish to live a life of meaning, we must learn to manage these distractions. We must train ourselves to focus, to carve out time for what matters, and to say no to things that drain our energy or divert our attention away from our goals. Ultimately, how we spend our time determines the quality of our lives. It is not the quantity of time we have, but how we use it that defines us. If we spend our time chasing external validations or accumulating things that hold no real value, we will look back on our lives with regret. But if we learn to spend our time wisely, focusing on our personal growth, nurturing relationships, and living in alignment with our core values, we will have lived a life that is truly rich, regardless of how long it lasts. So, ask yourself today, how am I spending my time? Am I using it in a way that will bring me closer to the life I want to lead? Time may be finite, but if we choose wisely, every moment can be a gift. Living in the present moment is one of the most powerful ways to experience life fully. It's easy to become trapped in the past, replaying old events, regrets, or what ifs, or to be consumed with worries about the future, constantly thinking about what could go wrong, or planning for an uncertain tomorrow. But the truth is, the past is gone, and the future is not yet here. The only time that truly exists is right now, this very moment. When we focus on the present, we free ourselves from the weight of the past and the anxiety of the future. Every moment becomes an opportunity to fully experience life as it is, rather than as we wish it were. We start to notice the small things that make life beautiful, whether it's the warmth of the sun on your skin, the sound of laughter, or the simple joy of taking a breath. By anchoring ourselves in the present, we become more attuned to our surroundings, more grateful for the little moments that often go unnoticed. Living in the present also brings clarity and focus. When we're not distracted by past regrets or future worries, we can give our full attention to what we are doing right now. Whether you're working, eating, or spending time with loved ones, being present helps you engage with life in a deeper, more meaningful way. You become more aware of your thoughts, emotions, and reactions, and you learn to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Additionally, living in the present moment enhances our well-being. It reduces stress because we stop trying to control things that are beyond our reach, and we stop chasing a future that may never come. By releasing our attachment to the past and future, we allow ourselves to experience a sense of peace and contentment that can only be found in the here and now. It's in these moments of presence that we find true joy, not in waiting for something to happen, but in savoring what is already here. To truly live in the present, we must practice mindfulness. This doesn't mean simply going through the motions of life, but rather being aware and conscious of each moment, no matter how mundane it may seem. Whether you are walking, working, or simply sitting in silence, bring your attention to the sensations, feelings, and thoughts that arise in the present moment. Let go of judgment and attachment to outcomes. Just be with what is. Living in the present moment is a gift we can give ourselves every day. It's the gateway to peace, joy, and deeper connection with life itself. So take a deep breath, let go of the past, release the future, and embrace the beauty of the present moment. This is where life truly unfolds. In a world where productivity and achievement are often measured by how much we can accomplish, it's easy to fall into the trap of equating success with quantity. We rush to do more, to accumulate more, to check off more items on our to-do lists, thinking that the more we do, the more successful and fulfilled we will become. But there's a quiet truth that many overlook. It's not the quantity of what we do that matters, but the quality of how we do it. When we focus on quantity, we stretch ourselves thin. We attempt to do as much as possible, often at the expense of our well-being and the depth of our experiences. It becomes a race against time, where we believe that the more tasks we complete, the more productive we are. But what happens when we fill our lives with an endless stream of tasks, obligations, and pursuits without pausing to ask ourselves why we're doing them or if they truly matter? We lose the essence of living, replacing meaningful engagement with shallow activity. On the other hand, quality asks us to slow down, to be present, and to invest ourselves fully in what we do. When we prioritize quality, we become more deliberate with our actions, more conscious of our choices, and more intentional about how we spend our time and energy. Instead of mindlessly rushing from one task to the next, we begin to value the depth and impact of each experience, each decision, and each moment. This shift from quantity to quality can transform the way we approach everything from our work to our relationships to our own personal growth. In terms of work, quality means dedicating your full attention and effort to what you are doing, rather than spreading yourself too thin. It's about doing fewer things but doing them well, with care and attention to detail. It's not about finishing as many tasks as possible, but about creating work that reflects your true capabilities and leaves a lasting impact. This mindset shift doesn't just make you more effective, it also brings greater satisfaction because the work you do is meaningful and authentic. Similarly, in our relationships, the quality of our connections far outweighs the number of people we know or interact with. It's easy to fall into the trap of trying to maintain a vast network of acquaintances or trying to please everyone around us, but the truth is, it's the depth of our relationships that bring real value to our lives. Building meaningful, deep connections with a few people who truly understand us and support us is far more enriching than having hundreds of surface-level interactions. Quality relationships nourish our souls and provide the emotional foundation we need to thrive. When it comes to personal growth, the quality of the time we invest in ourselves is paramount. Rather than filling our calendars with endless activities or striving for superficial achievements, we should focus on developing the habits and practices that nourish our minds, bodies, and spirits. Quality time spent in self-reflection, learning, or nurturing our well-being can lead to profound growth and transformation. The depth of the experiences we choose to engage with will ultimately shape who we become far more than the sheer number of things we accomplish. Moreover, the quality of the time we spend in the present moment is perhaps the most important of all. It's easy to get caught up in a cycle of doing, of moving from one thing to the next, without ever truly experiencing life as it unfolds. But when we prioritize quality over quantity in how we spend our time by being present, attentive, and engaged in each moment, we find that life becomes richer, fuller, and far more meaningful. The beauty of life lies not in how much we do, but in how deeply we experience each moment. In a society that often celebrates busyness and accumulation, it can feel counterintuitive to prioritize quality over quantity. But this shift in perspective is the key to finding lasting fulfillment. When we focus on doing fewer things with greater care and attention, we open ourselves up to deeper satisfaction and joy. We discover that the real value of life doesn't lie in how much we can get done, but in how meaningfully we engage with what we choose to do. The pursuit of quality over quantity requires mindfulness, intentionality, and the willingness to slow down. It's about choosing to live with purpose, rather than racing through life, ticking off boxes without truly experiencing what each moment has to offer. When we embrace this approach, we stop measuring our worth by how much we accomplish and start measuring it by how fully we live. By shifting our focus from doing more to doing better, we begin to reclaim the richness of life itself. We learn to savor each task, each relationship, each experience, knowing that it is the depth of our engagement that gives it meaning. Quality, after all, is not about perfection, but about presence, attention, and a commitment to doing our best with the time we have. This is where true fulfillment lies, and this is the way to a life well lived. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to become overwhelmed by a sheer number of things that demand our attention. Emails, meetings, social media updates, errands, tasks, and endless distractions, all of these things pull us in multiple directions, creating a whirlwind of activity. Yet, amid this constant flurry, we often lose sight of what truly matters. We spend our time reacting to the urgent demands of the moment without pausing to ask ourselves whether what we are doing aligns with our deeper values, goals, and purpose. To prioritize what truly matters is to take a step back from the noise and chaos of life and to consciously decide where we invest our energy and attention. It's about making deliberate choices that reflect what is most important to us, rather than simply responding to what is most immediate or loud. When we fail to prioritize, we often end up spreading ourselves too thin, engaging in activities or relationships that drain us, or chasing after things that, in the end, do not bring us lasting fulfillment. The real challenge lies in recognizing what deserves our focus and having the courage to let go of things that do not contribute to our well-being or our growth. Prioritizing what truly matters begins with clarity. It's not always easy to know what that is, especially when we're caught up in the fast-paced demands of life. However, if we take time to reflect and look inward, we can begin to uncover what holds the most significance for us. For some, it might be their family. For others, it might be personal growth, career aspirations, health, or the pursuit of creativity. It's important to recognize that what truly matters is deeply personal and unique to each individual. What brings meaning and fulfillment to one person may not have the same impact on another. Therefore, it is essential to listen to your own heart and intuition to identify your core priorities. Once we gain clarity on what matters most, the next step is making choices that reflect those priorities. This means saying no to things that are not aligned with our deeper values. It might mean turning down an invitation to a social event because you need time to nurture your health, or spending less time tasks that, although urgent, do not contribute to your long-term goals. It requires us to become comfortable with the discomfort of not doing everything, of not trying to please everyone, and of recognizing that we cannot be all things to all people. Prioritizing means making decisions that are sometimes difficult, but always necessary in order to stay true to what is most important. In many ways, prioritizing is an ongoing practice. Life is dynamic, and our priorities can shift over time. What is truly important at one stage of life may no longer hold the same significance in another. This is why regular self-reflection is so critical. By periodically pausing to reassess our goals, values, and intentions, we ensure that we stay on course and are not swayed by external pressures or distractions. Life's demands will always be there, but if we do not take that time to consciously prioritize, we risk being swept along by the current, lost in the sea of endless tasks and obligations. When we choose to prioritize what matters, we create space for the things that truly nourish us. Our relationships, for example, thrive when we give them the attention they deserve. Deep, meaningful connections with others require time, presence, and care. If we are constantly running from one task to another, we risk neglecting the people who are most important to us. Conversely, when we make a conscious decision to prioritize our loved ones, we show them that they matter to us, and we strengthen the bonds that are foundational to our happiness and sense of fulfillment. Similarly, prioritizing our own well-being, whether that means taking time to rest, engage in physical activity, or practice mindfulness, is essential for maintaining balance and harmony in our lives. In a culture that often glorifies overwork and exhaustion, it can be tempting to push our own needs aside. However, when we fail to prioritize self-care, we diminish our capacity to show up for others or pursue our goals with clarity and focus. Taking time to nurture ourselves is not selfish. It is an act of self-respect and an investment in our long-term happiness. Another important aspect of prioritizing is being selective about where we direct our energy. Time and energy are finite resources, and when we scatter them too widely, we become exhausted and ineffective. Instead of trying to juggle too many things at once, we must learn to focus on the few things that will have the greatest impact. This requires us to be disciplined, to say no to things that don't align with our values, and to set clear boundaries. By doing so, we create the space needed to excel in the areas that matter most, whether in our careers, our creative pursuits, or our personal growth. Ultimately, prioritizing what truly matters brings a sense of peace and fulfillment that cannot be found in the pursuit of endless distractions or superficial goals. It allows us to live a life that is authentic, grounded, and aligned with our true desires. When we focus on the things that bring us joy, that help us grow, and that contribute to the well-being of ourselves and others, we create a life that feels rich with meaning. In the end, life is not about achieving everything, but about achieving the things that matter most. It's not about checking off tasks on a to-do list, but about creating a life that reflects our deepest values and aspirations. By prioritizing what truly matters, we can lead a life of purpose, contentment, and fulfillment, one that is not driven by external expectations, but by an inner compass that guides us toward what is truly important. Prioritizing gives us the clarity and focus to live each day with intention, making every moment count, and ensuring that we ingest our time and energy into what will leave a lasting and meaningful impact. In our fast-paced world, time is often seen as a commodity to be used efficiently, something we measure by output, productivity, and achievements. We fill our days with tasks, constantly moving from one thing to the next, as if time itself were running out. In this rush to do more, we may overlook one of the most profound ways of spending our time: through awareness. In reality, time spent in awareness is never wasted. It is in these moments of deep presence that we can truly connect with life, understand ourselves, and appreciate the richness of our experiences. When we talk about awareness, we are not referring to mere mindfulness as a fleeting practice. True awareness is about being fully present in every moment, deeply attuned to our surroundings, thoughts, feelings, and sensations. It is the opposite of mindlessly rushing through life, consumed by the next task, the next worry, or the next distraction. Awareness invites us to pause, to take a step back from the noise, and to engage with life in its fullest sense. Time spent in awareness can be transformative. It is in moments of quiet reflection, when we are truly present with ourselves, that we begin to understand our true needs, desires, and fears. Instead of reacting impulsively to life's demands, we learn to respond thoughtfully from a place of clarity and intention. This type of presence allows us to navigate our experiences with greater insight and compassion, both towards ourselves and others. Being aware means that we are not just going through the motions of our daily lives, but are consciously engaging with what is happening right here and now. Whether it's a simple task, like washing the dishes, a conversation with a loved one, or a challenging moment of stress, being aware allows us to experience each moment in its fullness. It's about noticing the sensations in your body, the emotions that arise, and the thoughts that pass through your mind. It's about being aware of the environment around you, the sounds, the smells, the sights, and truly allowing yourself to be part of that moment rather than mentally somewhere else. In many ways, time spent in awareness allows us to connect with a deeper sense of meaning. When we are fully present, we are no longer distracted by the constant pull of future plans or past regrets. We are immersed in the current experience, which is often much more fulfilling than we realize. For example, when we take the time to truly listen to someone, without thinking about what we will say next or what we have to do afterward, we open the door to deeper connection. We begin to understand not only what the other person is saying, but also the unspoken emotions and intentions that lie beneath the words. This presence enriches our relationships and fosters a sense of empathy and understanding. Moreover, time spent in awareness helps us to cultivate gratitude. When we are present, we begin to notice the beauty and wonder in the world around us. The simple act of walking outside can become an opportunity to marvel at nature, the way the sunlight filters through the trees, the sound of leaves rustling in the wind, or the feeling of the earth beneath our feet. These moments, though seemingly small, are full of richness. Awareness makes us realize that there is beauty in every moment, even in the ordinary, and this realization brings a sense of peace and contentment that can never be attained through external achievements alone. Awareness also enhances our ability to learn and grow. When we are truly present, we are better able to absorb information, make connections, and integrate new knowledge into our lives. This presence allows us to focus more deeply, to see things more clearly, and to understand things on a deeper level. Without awareness, we may go through life accumulating experiences or information without ever fully processing them. But when we are aware, we extract meaning from every encounter, whether it's a conversation, a challenge, or a piece of new knowledge. The irony is that in a world that values speed and efficiency, spending time in awareness may initially seem like a luxury or a waste of time. After all, there's always something more to do, always something that demands our attention. But in reality, awareness enhances our ability to do everything else more effectively. When we take the time to pause, breathe, and truly focus, we bring more energy and attention to whatever we are doing. Whether it's work, relationships, or personal growth, being fully present allows us to perform at our best with greater depth, creativity, and mindfulness. Furthermore, when we practice awareness, we become more attuned to our inner world. It is easy to become disconnected from our own emotions, desires, and needs in the chaos of daily life. But by spending time in awareness, we develop the ability to listen to ourselves, to recognize what we need, how we feel, and what is truly important to us. This self-awareness is not about self-absorption, but about cultivating a deeper understanding of our own motivations and actions. With this understanding, we can make decisions that are more aligned with our true selves, leading to greater authenticity and fulfillment. Time spent in awareness can also be profoundly healing. When we face difficult emotions or challenges, the natural instinct is often to push them away, to distract ourselves, or to avoid them. But in moments of awareness, we can allow ourselves to fully experience these emotions without judgment. We can sit with discomfort, pain, or fear, and in doing so, we can begin to understand and process them. Awareness doesn't eliminate pain, but it gives us the space to acknowledge it, to learn from it, and to grow through it. In this way, time spent in awareness becomes an act of self-compassion, a way of honoring our own experience without rushing to fix or escape it. In the end, time spent in awareness is not wasted, it is the most valuable time we can spend. It is in these moments that we come alive to the fullness of life itself. Awareness opens the door to deeper connection, greater understanding, and richer experiences. It teaches us to be present with ourselves and the world around us, to find meaning in every moment, and to appreciate the beauty of life as it unfolds. While the world may continue to rush forward, time spent in awareness allows us to slow down, to truly live, and to savor the gift of being present. It is a gift that never loses its value, no matter how much time passes. In today's world, distractions are an inevitable part of our daily lives. They come in many forms: smartphones, social media, emails, and notifications, as well as external distractions like noise or interruptions from others. These constant pulls on our attention make it increasingly difficult to focus on the task at hand, whether at work, school, or even in our personal lives. The pervasive nature of distractions is not just a modern challenge, it is a fundamental issue that has grown in scale with the rise of technology and the speed at which information is processed and consumed. Managing distractions has become a crucial skill that can significantly improve our productivity, mental well-being, and overall quality of life. The first step in managing distractions is recognizing how deeply they affect us. Many of us believe that we can multitask effectively, switching between tasks or bouncing from one app to the next without losing focus. However, research has shown that multitasking is not an efficient way of working or thinking. Each time we shift our focus from one task to another, our brain requires time to reorient itself. This shift causes a reduction in productivity and can even lead to mental fatigue. We begin to feel scattered, unable to fully engage with any single task. Understanding this concept is crucial because it helps us see distractions not as simple annoyances but as forces that erode our ability to do meaningful work. One of the main reasons distractions are so powerful is that they tap into our innate desire for stimulation. Our brains are wired to seek novelty, and many distractions, such as social media or notifications, are designed to provide that constant stream of new information. In fact, each time we check our phone or receive a new notification, our brain releases dopamine, the feel-good chemical associated with rewards. This creates a cycle where we're constantly drawn to check our devices, even if we don't necessarily need to. The momentary pleasure of receiving new information or the anticipation of a new message pulls us away from what we were doing, often derailing our focus and making it difficult to return to the original task. Managing distractions, therefore, requires not only setting boundaries with external stimuli, but also developing a greater level of self-discipline and awareness. The first practical step in this process is to create an environment that minimizes external distractions. If possible, try to reduce the number of devices or apps you use during a specific task. For example, when working on a project or reading, silence your phone, close unnecessary browser tabs, or use apps designed to block distracting websites. The fewer distractions you have around you, the easier it becomes to maintain focus. This doesn't mean completely isolating yourself from the world, but rather creating a space that is conducive to the task at hand. It is also essential to establish designated times for checking your phone or responding to emails. Constantly checking your phone in between tasks or during breaks may seem harmless, but it can easily become a habit that distracts you from the larger goals you are working toward. By setting specific times during the day for these activities, you prevent yourself from falling into the trap of constant checking. This kind of time blocking helps you manage your energy more efficiently, allowing you to focus when you need to, while still leaving room for these small tasks in your day. Another way to manage distractions is by adopting a mindset of deep work. This concept, popularized by author Ben Seaves, emphasizes the importance of working in long, uninterrupted stretches of time. Deep work requires discipline and the ability to focus on cognitively demanding tasks without letting your attention waver. It's about creating time blocks in your day when you commit to focusing solely on one thing. This type of focused work not only boosts productivity but also enhances the quality of your work. The more time you spend in deep work, the more you develop your ability to concentrate for longer periods, ultimately reducing the impact of distractions on your overall performance. In addition to controlling external distractions, managing internal distractions is equally important. Internal distractions are the mental interruptions that prevent us from fully engaging with a task. These can come in the form of worries, intrusive thoughts, or the temptation to daydream. When we allow these internal distractions to take hold, we can lose our focus and spend significant amounts of time thinking about things unrelated to the task at hand. Learning to manage these distractions involves becoming more aware of your thoughts and feelings as they arise. Mindfulness practices such as meditation or simply pausing to check in with yourself can help you become more aware of these mental distractions. Once you notice them, you can gently bring your focus back to the task without judgment or frustration. Taking regular breaks is another effective way to manage distractions. It may seem counterintuitive, but giving yourself the space to step away from a task can actually improve your focus and productivity in the long run. Our brains have limits on how much information they can process before fatigue sets in. By taking short breaks throughout the day, you give your mind the opportunity to reset, making it easier to return to the task with a fresh perspective. Whether it's a walk outside, a few minutes of stretching, or simply closing your eyes for a moment, breaks are an important part of maintaining focus and energy levels throughout the day. Another key aspect of managing distractions is prioritizing the right tasks. Sometimes distractions arise not because of external factors, but because we are not entirely clear on what we should be focusing on. When we are unsure of our priorities, we are more likely to get sidetracked by things that seem urgent but are ultimately less important. To avoid this, take time to regularly assess your priorities and ensure that the tasks you are working on align with your long-term goals. This sense of purpose helps reduce the pull of distractions because it gives you a clear direction and reason for focusing on the task at hand. Managing distractions also involves cultivating patience and embracing the discomfort that often comes with deep focus. In a world filled with instant gratification, it can be difficult to sit with the discomfort of working on something for a long stretch of time. But the more we learn to tolerate this discomfort and stay engaged with the task, the easier it becomes to manage distractions in the future. Recognizing that distractions are not inherently bad, but rather opportunities to practice mindfulness and self-discipline can help reframe our perspective on them. Lastly, it's important to remember that managing distractions is a continual practice. We will always encounter moments of distraction, whether they come from external sources or arise within ourselves. The goal is not to eliminate all distractions, but to learn how to recognize them and redirect our focus with greater ease. With time and effort, the practice of managing distractions becomes more natural, leading to improved productivity, a greater sense of accomplishment, and ultimately, a more fulfilling life. In conclusion, managing distractions is not about fighting against the inevitable flow of information and stimulation, but about developing the tools and mindset to navigate them effectively. By creating an environment conducive to focus, practicing self-discipline, and embracing deep work, we can reclaim our time and attention, allowing us to make more meaningful progress toward our goals. With patience, practice, and awareness, we can reduce the impact of distractions on our lives, ultimately improving both our productivity and our mental well-being. Investing in personal growth is one of the most valuable commitments we can make to ourselves. It is the process of consciously working to develop our skills, expand our knowledge, improve our mindset, and deepen our understanding of the world and our place in it. In a world that often prioritizes external achievements, material success, and societal expectations, personal growth offers a path that is uniquely rewarding and enriching. It is the key to unlocking our fullest potential, creating a life that is meaningful, and cultivating the resilience needed to navigate the challenges life throws our way. At its core, personal growth is about becoming the best version of ourselves. It is not necessarily about being perfect or flawless, but about striving to improve and to evolve and to embrace a journey of continuous learning. Growth is a lifelong process that happens not in isolated bursts, but gradually through consistent effort, reflection, and practice. It involves deepening our self-awareness, understanding our strengths and weaknesses, and cultivating the discipline to make choices that align with our highest values and goals. Investing in this process means we are consciously choosing to put time, energy, and resources into our own development, not just for the sake of achieving external success, but because we recognize that growth is the foundation of a fulfilling and impactful life. One of the primary ways we can invest in personal growth is through education, whether formal or informal. Education allows us to acquire new skills, deepen our expertise, and open our minds to new ideas and perspectives. In the past, education might have been seen as something that only happens in schools or universities, but today, learning is an ongoing, lifelong pursuit. With the advent of online courses, podcasts, books, seminars, and other resources, the opportunities to learn are limitless. By dedicating time to expand our knowledge in areas that interest us or contribute to our personal and professional goals, we create a foundation for continual growth. Education not only broadens our skill set, but also fuels our curiosity and fosters a mindset of exploration. Equally important is investing in emotional and mental growth. Our minds are incredibly powerful, yet they are often our greatest sources of internal conflict. Our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions shape the way we experience the world, and they can either hold us back or propel us forward. Personal growth requires us to work on our mental resilience, to challenge limiting beliefs, and to reframe the narratives we tell ourselves. It involves learning how to manage stress, navigate difficult emotions, and cultivate a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. Practices like mindfulness, meditation, journaling, and therapy can all contribute to emotional growth by helping us better understand ourselves and become more adept at managing our emotions in healthy ways. Another vital aspect of personal growth is cultivating self-discipline and healthy habits. Growth requires us to take consistent action, and this often means making small, incremental improvements over time. It's easy to get distracted by short-term pleasures or the lure of instant gratification, but true growth comes from the ability to stay committed to long-term goals. Whether it's sticking to a fitness routine, dedicating time each day to a creative pursuit, or cultivating better time management skills, discipline is the key to making progress. Habits form the foundation of our daily lives, and by making small adjustments to our routines, such as waking up earlier, exercising regularly, or committing to lifelong learning, we set ourselves up for continued growth. Along with discipline, building a growth mindset is crucial to our development. A growth mindset is the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed with effort, practice, and perseverance. This mindset contrasts with a fixed mindset which holds that our qualities and capabilities are static and unchangeable. When we adopt a growth mindset, we embrace challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than seeing them as obstacles to avoid. This shift in perspective allows us to approach life with greater resilience, creativity, and confidence. We no longer see failure as something to fear, but as a natural part of the learning process. By embracing mistakes and setbacks as valuable lessons, we position ourselves for greater success and fulfillment. Personal growth also involves taking care of our physical health. The body and mind are intimately connected, and our physical well-being plays a significant role in our ability to grow and achieve our goals. Investing in physical health means eating nourishing food, staying active, getting enough rest, and listening to our bodies when they need care. Good health provides us with the energy and vitality needed to pursue our dreams, tackle challenges, and maintain focus. By prioritizing our health, we ensure that we have the strength and resilience to continue growing and evolving throughout our lives. Another essential aspect of personal growth is the cultivation of meaningful relationships. Growth does not happen in isolation. We are social beings, and our relationships with others profoundly impact our development. By investing time and energy into nurturing positive, supportive connections with family, friends, colleagues, and mentors, we create a network of support that encourages us to grow. Meaningful relationships offer us opportunities for learning, reflection, and emotional growth. They provide us with a mirror through which we can see ourselves more clearly and hold us accountable to our personal development goals. Moreover, the act of giving and sharing with others allows us to expand our own capacity for compassion, empathy, and understanding. As we grow, it is also important to develop the ability to set and achieve meaningful goals. Personal growth is not just about self-improvement for the sake of it. It is about aligning our actions with our values and vision for the future. Setting clear, specific goals gives us a sense of direction and purpose. These goals should be both challenging and achievable, pushing us to expand beyond our current limits while remaining grounded in what is truly important to us. Investing in personal growth involves not just dreaming about what we want to achieve, but taking concrete steps toward it, breaking down larger objectives into smaller, manageable tasks, and celebrating progress along the way. In addition to setting and achieving goals, it is important to take the time for self-reflection. Growth is not just about outward achievements, but also about understanding who we are and where we are on our journey. Regularly taking stock of our experiences, successes, failures, and the lessons we have learned allows us to make adjustments and refine our approach to life. Self-reflection helps us to stay aligned with our values and to course correct when necessary, ensuring that we continue moving in the direction that feels authentic and fulfilling. Ultimately, investing in personal growth is an ongoing commitment to becoming a better version of ourselves, not just for our own benefit, but also for the people around us and the world at large. As we grow and evolve, we become more equipped to contribute meaningfully to society, to support others on their own journeys, and to live with purpose and fulfillment. Growth is not a destination, but a journey, one that is filled with continual learning, transformation, and the excitement of discovering new facets of ourselves. By choosing to invest in our personal development, we are actively shaping the life we want to live, one that is rich with potential and possibility. In conclusion, the most significant investment we can make in life is the one we make in ourselves. Personal growth is the foundation of a meaningful and fulfilling life. And by dedicating ourselves to continuous learning, emotional resilience, and self-discipline, we create the conditions for success and happiness. It's not about achieving perfection, but about embracing the process of growth, learning from our experiences, and becoming more fully aligned with who we are meant to be. Every step we take toward personal growth is a step toward creating the life we truly desire, one that is authentic, purposeful, and deeply rewarding.